Hey, I'm back. Greetings to y'all. I know it's only been about a half a second since you last heard me, whatever, but it's been about 2 months. So, kind of refreshing my own brain. I was going to, I had replaced the distributor, which was an HEI distributor, with a smaller unit, smaller distributor, smaller like base distributor. Not that that matters. I didn't care how big it was or not, but it worked with the Holly sniper system to control timing, and you know, supposedly makes easier startups, runs smoother, cleaner, maybe more fuel efficient. I don't know. I just like the idea of not having to worry about the vacuum advance and all the weights in the other distributor and such. Not that it was a bad system. I thought, let's try it. So I installed it. I installed the distributor, the new ignition coil, and I guess it's the CD box, the spark box. I won't call it the computer, but it's kind of the computer of the ignition system. However, when I went to start it, as you saw in the first part of this, it refused to start. It was just turning, not firing. Obviously, I stopped the video and did a bunch of troubleshooting, talked to Holly over a few days, maybe more than a few days. Ended up being that the ECU, the electronic control unit in the fuel injection unit, if you want to call it the carburetor, part of the whole unit, was bad. It wasn't putting out the signal that it needed to make the spark. So I sent that away, and it was about 4 weeks for them to just get to the unit. They're backed up, supposedly, whatever. So they told me it'd be 4 weeks for them to diagnose it, and then if it is the ECU, it was going to be 6 weeks for them to, I don't know, get the part and install it. So I'm thinking, man, that's 10 weeks. That's what, 2.5 months. But what choice did I have? So, and the guy said it's going to cost you $250 for the new ECU, if that's what it is. I called them 5.5 weeks later, and they said, yeah, it's done, and it should go out this week. And it wasn't going to cost me anything. So I'm like, woohoo, that's cool. And it was only 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks by the time I should have gotten it. From the time they received it, not from the time this whole thing started. So I waited, and I waited. And that was a Monday that I called them. Called them the next Monday. Yeah, it's ready to be shipped out. It'll get shipped out this week. We'll send you an email. All right. Waited. 2 weeks later, the previous Monday to today, I called them again. I said, look, it's been 3 weeks. I haven't received this. They said, we'll ship it to you, and you'll get it Tuesday or Wednesday. Got it Wednesday, which is yesterday. Installed it yesterday, and had to piece a few of the wires back together, and I kind of tried to tuck things back up again. Still needs a little bit more cleaning up, but it's good enough. And it did fire. As soon as it fired, I shut it off, because there's things I have to go through, which we'll go through together. Aren't I a guy? So let me get this thing on a tripod, and actually, I'm just going to pause it and figure out what I'm going to do from here. That's planning. All right. All right, so the first thing I got to do, because I forgot to do it, is reconnect the battery. Now, I've seen a lot of guys, a lot of people, I don't know if they're all men or not, I don't remember, connect the positive cable last. That is really the worst thing you can do. I'm not going to show you why, but if you have the ground cable already connected to the battery, it's connected to the chassis, it's connected to the engine, it's connected to ground. This is assuming a negative ground, not a positive ground, which is a whole different story. And I don't know if any positive grounds are around today in new cars. If you connect the ground cable first and then the positive cable, and you're tightening that positive cable up and you happen to hit the, say, the core support, the battery hold down, that's in this case is metal, you know what's going to happen? You're going to weld the thing together. Don't do that. Absolutely the worst thing to do. Get out of the habit. I've seen guys that I really admire on YouTube, car guys, I'm not naming any names, because who am I? I've seen them connect the positive cable last. Don't do it. Negative cable last. Negative cable first when you're taking it off, then the positive cable, change your battery, whatever you're doing. Put in the battery back in, connect the positive cable, then the negative cable. Don't do it the other way around. You're asking for trouble. Alright, I'll get off my soapbox. So anyway, I gotta connect the battery cable, and I've got two connections on this. I have one for the starter lead, and I'm not even sure what this other cable is for. Wire, I should say. Oh, that actually goes, I think that goes to my ignition box. Regardless, I'm going to connect this, and then I have another cable down here that connects for the fuel injection negative ground, whatever, which has to be directly to the battery. So I'm going to connect this one first, just because it's here. And you might get some spark. You might, maybe not on this car because this doesn't have anything really on it. But you know, if you left your door open, the light on the inside might be on and causing a little draw, so you might get a little spark. And look at this, nothing happens. You do it with the positive and you touch something, you're screwed. If you have a computer controlled car, you could have just blown your computer up. Probably not, but do you want to take the chance? I don't think so. Just do it negative last, ground last. Or not, I don't care, it's your car. How's that? Ground last is best. I don't care what other people say. So I'll get off that. I'm done. I understand it's your car. Do it the way you want to do it. But if you want to do it the right way, just do it that way. All right. So I'll connect the computer for the fuel injection up. Sorry. Without doing the third thread, which is cross thread. Snug this up, and then we're good to go. Then we'll head inside and go from there. All right, here we go. I'm in the car. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. So it might get a little shaky because I have to point with my left hand. So I'm following the instructions. Yep, I am following the instructions. And I have to go into the this display thing. I can't think of what it's called. And I have to lock the timing to a certain degree before top dead center. I think it says 15 degrees. So we're going to go in and do that. And then I will check the timing to make sure that it is 15 degrees actual timing. So here we go. Fuel pump kicked on. How am I going to do this with my left hand? I know it's maybe a little out of focus. I'm going to go home. tuning. Oops. System. Static timing. And I have to set that to 15. So I think I can either move this to 15. Yeah, I didn't get the pointer that I was supposed to get either with this, but my finger works okay sometimes. And then I just use the arrows and get up to 15 degrees. And hit set. I don't know if I hit set. I hit set. Close. Now I'm going to restart it, I think. It doesn't actually say. I don't know. Well, let's... Okay, let's start it. See if it runs. Like I said, I started it yesterday, and once it fired, I shut it off right away. Yeah, let's see what happens, I guess. Yeah. I might have to put the battery charger on it. Yeah, let me put the battery charger on it, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's been about 3 hours since I actually last was talking to you, and I had an issue where it wasn't starting. I know it's an old car. I know I've done a bunch of stuff to it, this and that, but it was irritating me. Let's put it that way. So like I said, it's been about 3 hours. I've been in and out of the garage, in working on my computer, looking for this, looking for that. So on the Sniper system, you can do a data log, and what that does is it records what all your settings are while you're running, or in my case, while it's trying to start. So I ran that, and obviously it didn't fire. Brought it inside, looked at it on the computer, couldn't figure anything out. I did it 3 times, and I think on the 3rd time something caught my attention, and it was showing the sensor for, well, what was really bothering me is the air-fuel ratio, which should theoretically be 14.7 to 1. But you run that, you're going to burn your engine up basically. Not really, but you don't like to go that lean. Usually around 13 to 14, I guess. 13 and a half maybe. Anyway, I noticed it was at 36, which is way too lean, which is really, really bad. So that caught my eye. And then I'm looking around at the rest of the sensors. And yes, somebody's mowing, so I hope you can hear me okay. Looked at the rest of the sensors, and I found that the TPS, or the throttle position sensor, was showing 101, or was it 100.1% open. That's at idle without me touching the gas pedal. Should be 0. And it was at 100 or 100.1 or whatever. It was not where it was supposed to be. So I'm thinking, aha, I figured it out. In my mind, I was hoping. So I came out here And I looked at it. So it's really easy to see on this. It's that sensor right there, and what it does is it tells it tells the computer where the throttle, how much it's open or closed. It shows a percentage amount open. So like right now it's 0%. Maybe 1% because I haven't cleared it out yet. Oh, I guess I have. Anyway, mind if I argue with myself? So anyway, I came out here and I looked at it, and it looks fine. I just got this from Holly. They should have given me good stuff, right? I took a look at this little connector right here. I don't know if it was clicked in all the way. I'm really not sure. This one right here. It's hard to look at two things at once. So I removed it, clicked it back in, went and looked at the monitor, and it was 0%. And then what do you know? It started. So while I was doing all that, I kind of jumped ahead and checked the timing and everything. And it was off by 2 degrees. I'm not putting it back to where it was, but I'll show you what I went through. So, turn the ignition to the on position. Go back to the home. Go to tuning. End system. Static timing. I think I have to start it first. Everything vibrates. So then I need to set it at 15 degrees. Yeah, I could type it in, but I should have typed it in. I don't know why they picked 15. Why couldn't I pick any number I wanted? But we'll go with 15. So then you set it, you hit the set button, and that sets it to 15 degrees, regardless as to what other settings you might have. This is so you can verify that the distributor is at 15 degrees. So, you go out here, go to your balancer, and let's see if I can do this. It just shut off. I did not anticipate that. Let's see if it'll start up or if something bad just happened. Interesting. That's never happened before. Okay. I'd like to see what's going on. So let's get out of here. I kind of want to see. Okay, this is where it shows the TPS right there. Percent. See, it says 0. And that's good. I'm not sure why it's shutting off. So let's see what happens. So you can see this is the actual timing that it's at, right where my finger is. Are you gonna run? Looks like it might run. So I need to adjust this number also, the IAC position. That should be, once it's warmed up, which it is, at idle, that should be between 5 and 10, closer to 5. But I should be able to get this timing thing set first. So let's try it again. I just need to set this to 15. And set. And that's where it shuts off. That's kind of interesting. Let's see if it'll shut off. The fans are on. Well, the fan is on. Let's see if it shuts off. It seems to run good until I tell it to go to 15 degrees. So instead of going to that, you see it's at about 10 degrees right there. So we'll go out there and verify that it's at 10 degrees. I think it's me. As soon as I get out of the car, it shuts off. Alright, so let me adjust the idle air control valve. And I might have to put this thing on a tripod. So what you want to do for the idle air control valve is you need to get it up to operating temperature, which it is. And then you need to look at that number. I think it was like 34 on the display. You need to turn that down to 5 or so. You don't want to go 0 because you want to have it to have a little bit of an adjustment. You don't want it at 30 either because that's open too much. So you adjust it to about 5, and this might take a couple of starts and stops because you have to reset the computer each time. So let's see if it'll start, and we'll go from there. Right now we're at 60%. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know if I'm going to do anything or not. We'll just see how it goes. Okay. That was not the right direction, I assume. But we'll see here. It almost seems like it's right, so I have a feeling something else is going on here. So let's try it one more time. Down to 30% right now. This is very interesting. good way. I don't know why it's shutting off. However, the idle air control valve now is at 9. Put a little bit more into it. And I'm going to call that good for now. So let's see if once I clear the computer, start over, see if it keeps running. So it looks like, oops, sorry. Looks like it might be okay. The idle air control valve is going between 4 and 8. So it's 5 and 7 right now. Seems like it's running okay now. Except for that. Really not sure what that is. So I'm going to shut you down for a little bit and see if I can't figure out what the issue is. I did notice that the TPS percentage 0 went red. So I'm going to play around with that connector and maybe see if that's it. So for now, I guess I'm done. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple seconds. So it's the next day again. I had various issues that you saw yesterday. I don't have my glasses on, so I don't know if that's focused. Anyway, I had various issues yesterday, and it appears that I have radio frequency interference or electromagnetic interference since changing to the different ignition system. So I have on order some, it's called Faraday tape. It's supposed to block the signals being induced to other wires and just causing havoc. And the reason I noticed it is because on the data log, lines were all over the place. So I've moved important high voltage type wires like my coil wire, spark plug wires as far away from the fuel injection wires, and it's better, it runs longer, it doesn't stall like it was stalling yesterday. I think it was yesterday, where it would stall after like 40 seconds of runtime or whatever. So I was on the computer with some people that know fuel injection a lot better than I do, and they kind of helped me along. And yeah, so I was thinking the throttle position sensor was bad, and it's not. It's just fine. So I've got it so it will run. I can show you how to do the timing, which I have already done, but I can show you and how you would check if you were doing the same thing. So let's do this, and hopefully it works. I really hope this was focused. Anyway, so let's get out of here. So you go to the home screen. Oops. Go to the home screen. Go to tuning. I don't know if I did this yesterday or not. So wait. Sorry. Go to tuning. Go to system. And then static timing. And you want to set this at 15. There we go. Clear. And then 15. So what this will do, if I can hit save, hope I wasn't blocking that. What this will do is, as soon as I hit set, it locks the timing to 15 degrees advanced, no matter what the speed of the engine is. So I'll hit set, maybe. Well, that didn't work, did it? And I don't have fat fingers. Hit set. It says static timing set. So that means it's locked in at 15. Now I go to the crankshaft, the balancer. With the timing light, make sure it's at 15 degrees at idle, and then rev it to make sure it's 15 degrees at like 3,000 RPM, and it should remain consistent. If it's not, there's adjustments that are made, whether it's with the distributor, which it should be set, like I said, or there's things to do in the handheld unit itself. Again, they should be good, and if I can figure out where it's at real quick, then oh, actually I have the instructions right next to me, so yeah, I'll show you where to make changes if necessary, and what changes I made. So let's see if we can start this bad boy. So it's at 15 right now. Let's go see what the balancer says. Maybe. Timing light's not working. Great. Let me reset this. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to set this for 15. Maybe. So this is where it should be at. So, if you look down on the timing light, I'm sorry, the balancer. Oops. I don't know if you can see it or not. So, it's not a white line, it's actually kind of a dark orange line, and it's just about at that zero. It bounces around a little bit, which, you know, I'll play with that as needed. But yeah, it looks alright. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I know, I'll put it on a tripod. Hang on a second. Alright, so hopefully you'll be able to see it. If not, take my word for it. So I'll rev it up to 30. I'm sorry, 3,000. It's still at 15. It's still at 15. I'm going to keep it there, but I'm going to make sure it goes up to 3,000. Where are you? I'm going to make sure that the RPMs go up to 3,000. So here we go. Alright, so it came back into the car. As you hopefully saw, it stayed at about 15 degrees advanced. It was at the 0 mark, but my timing light was set at 15. So I came back into the car, not thinking. And what I did is, I think before it said static timing set, I hit the clear button and it cleared it. So now it's actually keeping time by itself. So if we go into a monitor and we see what the advance is, you see it's dancing between 13 and 15 degrees right there. Okay, so let's shut this thing off. And actually, I'm going to restart it. I hope I wasn't totally off. So let's say the timing, when you set it at 15 degrees, let's say the timing was off. At that point, what you would do is time it like any other engine. Get in there, loosen the bolt that holds the distributor down, and you just rotate it, and you set the timing like you would, but you would set it at 15 degrees. So you want it to match what the computer is saying it is. So, assuming you get that set, and I'm sorry, this is not a professional here. So then you come back in here, you got your 15 degrees set at idle. And like I said, that's set at 15. So if you rev it up to 3,000, anywhere you went, if you wanted to go to 8,000, not this car, it should stay at 15 degrees before top dead center. Or in this case, the line should stay at 0. If it's not, see if I can figure this out. Let's go home. I don't mean go home. Yeah, so I'm going to fiddle around here. See if we can't figure this sucker out. I'm going to say ignition setup. There we go. So, right here, where my finger is, it says inductive delay. When I first started, it was at 100. I'm not sure what USEC stands for. Microseconds? Yeah, I guess that's an M. It's microseconds, I guess. So my timing, I forgot where it went to, if it went up or down. But it was like 2 degrees. I think it was 2 degrees higher than it should have been. So let's say it set at 15, it was 17. Regardless, I don't remember which way it was. I picked to go up, and I went up 20 milliseconds, and it was dead on. Like you saw right there, it was dead on. Now, if the timing got worse, then I would have gone to, let's say, 80 milliseconds, and it should have gotten closer. And you just kind of play with it that way. The instructions, I don't remember. I think it explains to you which way to go. I knew that that's what I had to do, so I just played with it, and I guessed right in the first time. So if you notice at the very beginning, the timing was a little off at idle. I probably should adjust that, and I probably will before this actually hits the road again. But like I said, I've got to wrap all the wires with, turn the key off, with that Faraday tape to prevent the RFI issues that I am quite obviously having. But I mean, it's good. It's good to go. It runs. It starts. Just gotta wait for the tape, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow. Thankfully, to Amazon. No, they're not paying me. Anyway, so yeah, it's looking good. I got a funny echo here. So there's just a few things I need to tie up. The wiring isn't as nice as I would like it, but I just kind of did this to get it running. Sorry. You can kind of see stuff hanging and everything. And that could be part of the problem, but it's not all of the problem. So if I wrap it all in that tape, then it should be okay. And I'll probably wrap the distributor and just prevent any issues like that. I'm probably going to add a couple of ground straps, and I'm not going to show you all that because this video is taking place over way too long and dragged out too long, so I'm not, this is it. I showed you how to put a distributor in and apparently the issues you can have with it, but it's running and it runs good, it revs good, it does everything as well as it should. And according to everything that I've read in like the Holly forums and stuff, my gas mileage will even go up a little bit. That's not why I did it. I mean, I did a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, that's about it for this bad boy. So whenever I decide to do anything else, I'll think of you guys and throw the recorder on and see what happens. Next project will be the Impala. Stay tuned. Peace out. Thanks for watching.